looking at that, like let's look at our last game here. We'll look at the Horned Frogs in TCU that had a
Another
hell of a run
brilliant name.
last year. That well, yeah, definitely in my accent, you're right there. This turned into a whole thing here. I just need to stop it already. It's week one. Yeah. Look, TCU went up against the Buffaloes in terms of the Colorado Buffaloes, as we said in the Aviva last week, like Todd Bowley esque. They bring prime Deion Sanders in. He's immediately brought the Lion King, the prodigal son, Shatter, whatever. I can't pronounce his first name. Sanders' son is in the quarterback, but the reality is how set up are this team. A guy that I got the opportunity to meet was the former Steelers quarterback, Cordell Stewart. His son is on the roster for Colorado, and whenever I got the chance to meet him in May, honestly, lads, I think he talked for like 5 minutes about how impressed he was, not just with Colorado, but with Sanders. He basically said that Sanders gives a damn about his son, really, really cares about his future, and he has bought into it. And I don't blame him. I can see the passion in his face. I guess, Dara, the biggest question, and if you want to maybe revamp there also in TCU, but the biggest question for Colorado is, can you really make such a change in such a short period of time? It seems very unlikely. It's been over 20, it's almost, I think it's 25 years this year, or 24 years since they were last number one in the country. I think it's going to take them like a wee while yet to actually get to the point where they want to be. But this season is probably going to be about building. TCU is an interesting one as well, man.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a lot more than a 1 year prospect at Colorado. Look, Connell's the Colorado reporter of this team, so I think I'm going to focus on TCU just to start off with. They're obviously coming off of the biggest championship blowout that the sport has ever seen. They've moved on from Max Duggan, who's now part of he's in one of the LA teams in the NFL. He played in preseason. He's on one and Stetson Bennett's on the
Chargers.
other. He's in the Chargers, yeah. Bennett's in the Rams. Then speaking of Chargers, Quentin Johnson, their star wide receiver from last year, he's also gone. So it's going to be a big change a big shift in the offense at TCU. They're still right in the thick of things to win the Big 12 this year, to repeat as champions and hold on to their crown. It'll be Chandler Morrison at quarterback for TCU. He played a little bit last year, sort of garbage time, although TCU didn't have much of it. They seemed to win every game by a touchdown or less. And then he's in his fourth year, I believe, in college football, started off in Oklahoma. So there'll be big things expected of Morris. He's got a massive shoes to fill with what Max Duggan was able to accomplish last year. The Horned Frogs are massive favourites in this game, and it's just the reality of playing against a Colorado team that struggled mightily last year. But a game I'm definitely looking forward to watching, just because it's a brilliant storyline. Sanders' first game in college football.
Yeah, currently Dara and Connell. Why am I keep getting your boys' names mixed up? I mean, we literally stood together last week in the
Yeah,
stadium
come on, man.
on one day, and then like boy, it's just late at night. I'll get it right by week 6 or week 7. Connell, as Dara said, the Horned Frogs. I'm not calling them TC. I'm going to call them the Horned Frogs. They're 1-12 on. Like literally, Colorado are not fancying this game at all. Never mind the fact they have to travel to Texas to take on TCU. And look, there could be a wee bit of a hangover there though from last year. No,
I think that's kind of what I was thinking of when I was kind of looking at this. I was like, they're a ranked team, but I don't know how much of them being a ranked team right now is just because of, it's just kind of like a carryover from last year type effect. It would be really interesting to see, because their head coach Sonny Dykes is actually like incredibly underrated. Like, he was former SMU coach, so he's been around Texas. He knows how to deal with what's going on in Texas and everything like that. So I'm really interested to see how they do this year, whether they're ranked at the end of the year. Probably not, but they won't be. I don't think they have a losing record at the end of the year. It's the best way I could put it for them. And then Colorado coming into this, they're pretty much an unknown quantity. Like, you don't know, they could get blown out, or this could be an incredibly close game. They could win this game. We just don't really know. I think the person, if you're watching this game, you have to watch out for, and you pretty much can't miss him, because he'll be on the field for every single play. As it stands, it would be Travis Hunter, because he's going to be playing cornerback, and he is a cornerback, and he's been playing some wide receiver for them as well in practice, because he's just that good. He's a former top recruit in the country as well. So, you know, that's how good of a player he is. And then Shedeur Sanders at quarterback as well will be really interesting to see. So it's basically an entirely new program from one that went 1-11 last year, because they brought in 50 new players and 56 players left in the transfer portal. So it's going to be and it's going to be a new team. If you watch them last year, they will not be the same team.